We are back at it again. Welcome guys to my channel. This is Pius G again. I would like to start this video by thanking everyone who has subscribed to my channel, but also people who take time to watch my content and like, then comment. That feedback helps me grow as a content creator, but also as someone who sits down and makes research to be able to come up with these topics and also the things I say in these videos. As someone who has been creating videos for a certain period of time, I started out with photography and then I had to shift to videography. Then I had to learn editing, because at the end of the time, when you're in the art industry, there is going to be a time when someone tells you your vision or what you want them to do for you is not really possible. So if you learn those skills, it will enable you find a way out and how you can create this content, but also it will enable you find a way how to make what people tell you is impossible when you give them feedback possible. And remember, that is the uniqueness of any work that you really put your hands on. There has been those moments when I feel like this work, this kind of work, doesn't make sense. There have been moments when I feel demotivated. But at the end of the day, this is a job that I've done for a long period of time. Or even this is the only job that I can do. I'm not a carpenter, I'm not a fisherman, or a fisherman. Is it fisherman? Fisherman? Onen, is it fisherman? Fisherman. I'm not a fisherman. So there has been these moments when I feel demotivated, when I feel everything no longer makes sense the same way how I started with this huge passion. And I believe there is someone out there who is going through the same situation, or there is someone out there who has been going through the same situation. So what do you do when you get to this level? These tips that I'm going to share with you, you can still make research and you'll find other ways to do it, but this is the way how I approach that situation where I feel demotivated, when I feel my work no longer makes sense to me. This is the moment when the intro runs. When you feel low in the work you do, or when you feel demotivated, one of the things you need to do is to take a break from the work you're doing, because at the end of the day, what brings out this demotivation is because you might have done so much work in the past and you feel everything you touch is the same. So you need to take a break away from the work you're doing, and then along the break, you'll find a reason to motivate you all to come back, or even you'll find a purpose in the work you do. Companies decide to give their workers a leave, not because there is no work for them to do, or there is no work is done for them to be done in that certain period of time, but it's because they need you to relax and go home, relax, and also find purpose why you're in that space. Because if they don't give you that break, you'll end up fighting with people, you'll end up not delivering on the same pace you usually deliver. So I advise you, when you feel demotivated in the work you do, take a break. And then when you come back, trust me, trust you, you will be able to create content, you'll be able to deliver work. So while you're in this workplace, or while you're doing whatever you do, remember, when you were starting out, it was just passion that drove you into whatever you're doing. Remember, when you started out, the only energy you had was to follow your dreams and visions. So there comes a time when it is no longer about passion, when it's no longer about the visions you had in the beginning, and it becomes business. So when you're still doing whatever you do with passion, you rarely, there are factors or there are stressing issues that you usually ignore, but that passion drives you past these points. But there comes a time when whatever was passion, when whatever was a dream, you're there, and all you're following is the business aspect of work. So one of the things you need to do is you need to sit down and rethink your dreams and vision. When you sit down and think of the reason as why you started, when you think about the passion you had when you're starting whatever you're doing, you'll find purpose at the end of the day. You'll find also reason to bypass the reason as to why you're feeling demotivated. But also, never and never take time to forget the reason as why you're doing whatever you're doing. Never forget the passion you have for work, because at the end of the day, that passion drives you to deliver in a unique way other people don't deliver. That passion drives you to be as creative as possible. Remember, work is stressing. There comes a time when you're working overnight, there are times when you're working non-stop, and then at the end of the day, all you think about is delivering. So one of the reasons I think will help you in this scenario of feeling demotivated, you need to seek motivation from other content creators. You need to seek motivation from the people you share the job sector with. You need to reach out to people who really understand the work you're doing and seek motivation. Because I believe, like I started out on the video, I believe we all have these moments when we feel everything we do doesn't make sense. So I really advise you, visit some of your friends and seek motivation, either on YouTube, either on Google. There are so many videos, people sharing their life experiences and the reason as why they got up again, and it will help you. With the work industry, there comes a time when you rarely have time to visit people, and there comes a time when you're too busy to visit your family, your friends, and not because you don't want to visit them, but because you're engaged and you're busy, even in whatever you're doing, you're on demand. So I really advise you, in a long run, when you start feeling like work doesn't make sense to you, visit your friends and family. The time you will spend with these people, the time you will spend with some of these people, the time you will spend away from work, you will realize your life and the way your mind acts and thinks will have changed. So I really advise you, when you're at the point when you feel you're demotivated, when you're at the point when you feel work no longer makes sense to you, visit your friends and family, spend those happy moments with them, visit the people in the same industry. When you look at their work, you'll get motivated. You'll find your weaknesses, you'll find your strength. And when you look at other people's work, sometimes other people's works motivate us. When you look at other people's work, the time you spend with them in whatever they are doing, it will enable you evaluate your skills, but also it will enable you evaluate your life. And at the end of this conversation, at the end of the time you'll spend there, you'll have gotten a reason to be motivated and get back to work. As human beings, when we are doing whatever we do, we usually have dreams, we usually have visions, we usually have goals to do whatever we are doing. There comes a time when you feel you're not achieving these dreams. There comes a time when you feel there is so much time for you to achieve the goals you have in life. There comes a time when you feel the things you really want to fulfill are not coming true. And only that conversation can make you feel demotivated. Only that conversation can make you feel that whatever you're doing is useless. So I really advise you, when you feel demotivated about your work and you feel your goals are not coming to life that easily, sit down and you look at the small things you never had when you started out, and also evaluate, how did you start? When did you start? But also, by the time you started and where you are right now, what are those small achievements that you have made? And these small achievements can be just by you looking at the time you started doing whatever you're doing and right now. The phone you had when you're starting out, is it still the same phone you have? You look in your closet, the clothes you had when you're starting out in your work, yeah, they still the same clothes you're having. Look at the small success you have been able to achieve for the time you have been doing the work you have done. Trust me, trust you. Sometimes we are achieving our dreams slowly, but we rarely see it because our minds are focused so much on the bigger goals. Let me give you an example. When I started out YouTube, I was getting these small numbers of subscribers. And then I reached a time when I felt it wasn't something that was good for me. But right now, I've realized that ever since I stopped working on those videos, ever since I stopped uploading content on YouTube, and those are 5 years ago. Because I started out in 2017? And then from 2017 right now, are those 5 years? Those are 5 years. Now, ever since 2017 when I started out with YouTube, I just did only 4 videos. When I felt the numbers were not growing, I really gave up. But looking at the subscribers I got in the 5 years, I was able to hit 100 subscribers. That is a huge number. So I realized, where would I have been if I decided to keep going? That is the reason as why I decided to come back and continue with the journey I had started long ago. But also, I came back purely motivated. And trust me, it is hard to break me right now. When you look at the small things you have achieved in whatever you do, trust me, you'll find a reason to be motivated, but also you'll find a reason to overcome the depression you're going through today. You'll overcome the demotivation you're going through today. Thank you guys for watching this video. I really advise you to like, subscribe, and also comment. Commenting helps me to understand what can I do next, but also it enables me to connect with you people and never give up on your dreams.